there is one topic that is usually in the back of everyone's mind, it's money. According to a 2017 Gallup poll, healthcare costs, debt, inadequate wages, and college expenses are the biggest financial challenges families say they face. If you have questions about how you're handling it all, some questions, or some answers rather, can be found in a new book, The Dumb Things Smart People Do with Their Money, 13 Ways to Right Your Financial Wrongs. And joining us is a familiar face to us, the author, CBS News business analyst, and certified financial planner, Dr. Jill Schlesinger.
I always wanted that doctor. Doctor of money or love.
Oh, Jill, glad
why not
to
both?
have you here. Yeah, right? So, I mean, we know you're a numbers girl, but you start this book with emotion.
I think that this is the missing component because we are human beings and we are driven by emotions. And when it comes to money, there are two big emotions that we always see. There is fear and there is greed, and they can pull us. We also have these weird cognitive biases that can lead us astray. And so the reason I wrote this book was I felt like it's not all numbers. We're actually not programmed as human beings to make really good long-term financial decisions. And hopefully if I can help people avoid just one of these 13 errors, they'll be better off.
Let's talk about one of the biggest ones, financing your child's college education. I have 3 of those children things. It's very stressful. How do you navigate that?
I think the big issue here is that we know a college degree is really important, and we want our kids to be educated, but we are seeing families spend far too much money and putting their own future at risk. We actually just got some research out last week. The fastest growing segment of student loan borrowers are those over the age of 60.
Wow.
So what do we want to do? We want people to communicate with their kids. We want them to say, here's how much we can afford as a family. We want them to be really clear about that. Do that as early as freshman year in high school. We want the kids to have a part in the scholarship and grant process. And we want to remind everybody, by the way, there are always lower cost options. You don't have to go for the most expensive school.
It's what you make of that college experience. So often, investing also obviously so big for people. And you say play your own game. What does that mean?
Well, look, we always hear about these rules of thumb around investment advice. That's kind of bunk because you really got to know yourself as an investor. And I have pretty much like 5 outline tips that people should keep in mind. First is you should not be investing unless you've covered what I call the big 3, meaning you've got to pay down your outstanding debt, you've got to have the emergency reserve fund, and you've got to be using your retirement account. You've got to max it to the best of your ability. Now, from there, you want to create a financial plan. Then comes your asset allocation. I happen to like index funds. They're cheap, so that's good. We want you to stick to the plan, but you want to revisit that plan when something goes on in your life. So it could be a birth, a death, a divorce, a marriage. And we also want you to just get in the habit of revisiting it every few years.
There was a fabulous party for you this past week, can we say. We were very excited for you and your new book, but the highlight of the party was meeting your mom.
And for her as well.
Susan.
I mean, Anthony and Susan.
What a star she is. What a star she is.
She was crushing on Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
We were so happy to see her, and we wish you all the best with the book.
Thank you.
Jill, thank you very much.